Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am Coach Lily Alabonte, and I am a narcissistic abuse recovery coach for men. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about emotional abuse from your narcissistic wife. What can be recognized as emotional abuse? Because when it comes to a woman, okay, if she's an abuser, it is really, really hard for a man to recognize her as an abuser because a woman is a nurturer by nature. She's weak by nature, physically weak. So even if she's physically abusive, it's hard for men to recognize it as abuse. And when it's emotional, that's a whole different story. It can take you years, if not decades, until the veil is finally lifted. And for some people, they normalize it for the rest of their life and they never get out. And of course, before I continue, you guys can schedule your one-on-one session with me if you need help navigating through this. My link is in my bio. And of course, subscribe to my channel if this information is helpful to you and interesting to you. Okay, so let's dive in. What is emotional abuse from a narcissistic wife? You need to recognize this and you need to not ignore this, because understand that any of these red flags is enough of a reason to run if you communicate yourself and you can clearly see that the person is not taking any responsibility for their action and has zero empathy for you and how you feel. Okay, so number one is going to be the gaslighting. So basically lying to your face, making you question and deny your reality. If you say that this made me feel this way and she tells you, no, I'm not responsible for how that made you feel. When you say that she hurt your feelings and she tells you that she's not responsible for your emotions, understand when she is denying your reality, when she's telling you how to feel, when she straight up says that this never happened, that you're imagining things and whatever else it can be followed by, this is all gaslighting. It's not that she doesn't understand what's happening, it's that she's trying to get you to question your own reality. Because if that happens, that means that she's got control over you and she gets to tell you how to feel, what to do, how to act, what's right and what's wrong for you, and basically chip everything away from you until you feel like a little toddler that is fully dependent on your wife. So understand, if your partner ever makes you feel like you need to doubt your memory and your own judgment, this is gaslighting, okay? This is abuse and you need to run. Number two, it's really hard for you to understand if you're being criticized or if she's simply joking around or if she's mocking you. Understand that this is not normal, okay? Little sarcastic remarks that are really hurtful, little critical dags where you again don't understand if she is just being helpful or if she's mocking you. If you can't figure out where it's coming from, if you truly feel like something is irritating her in you, there's a difference between constructive advice and advice that is designed to hurt you, to make you feel inadequate, to belittle you, okay? So if that is how you feel, you need to address it with her right away. Communicate yourself. You can explain to her that when you do X, Y, and Z, I don't like it because it hurts my feeling or because it makes me feel a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And if you get some gaslighting phrase in return, oh, you're overreacting, why do you always have to be this way? You know, I didn't mean it this way. You know, I love you. Understand all of that is gaslighting, okay? So be able to connect the two. So if you're somebody who's constantly being belittled and criticized by your wife, you can't go far with that. It's not that she doesn't understand how she makes you feel. It's that she doesn't care and she actually thinks that you deserve to be treated this way because that's the only way she knows how to treat a man. Understand, she's superior to you in her head and that is why she treats you this way. Emotional manipulation, okay? So check in with yourself. If she makes you feel guilt, shame, fear, these three emotions, that is all manipulation, okay? And if your partner is manipulating you, you need to run because it's not something you need to communicate. A manipulator and abuser, it's not that they don't understand what they're doing, it's that they're trying to see how far they can push you, push your boundaries. And if you're not setting boundaries, if you're putting up with it, the abuse is only going to escalate more and more until you finally snap. So test it out. Like if you guys are having a conflict because you're trying to communicate that she hurt your feelings, how she made you feel, if she gaslit you, if something happened, and instead of addressing the comment, let's say she starts crying or she says that she's going to leave you, that she's tired of arguing about this, that she wants a divorce, this is all manipulation. If she threatens divorce and if she cries all the time whenever she needs to address her responsibility and take responsibility for how she makes you feel, this is all manipulation. Next one here. Okay, so throughout this relationship, there's going to be very clear cycle of love bombing and devaluation. Remember, the love bombing stages are going to get shorter and the devaluation stages are obviously going to get longer every time. But let's say there's a really, really high conflict situation where you finally say, I've had enough, and you decide to leave her, and she starts hoovering you back. She starts to maybe even take responsibility for her actions. What is she doing? She's keeping you on this emotional roller coaster, the trauma bond, the highs and the lows, the oxytocin, dopamine, and then the drops with cortisol and adrenaline. And you actually get addicted to this relationship like you would to a drug. Your brain is addicted to it like it is to a drug. And that is why when you leave, you actually experience withdrawals. And you can't be in a normal, healthy relationship right away, because to you, healthy love is not going to feel like love, because you're going to need the highs and the lows. So if your partner is constantly creating this crazy roller coaster cycle in this relationship, if they need the highs and the lows, if they can't just keep the peace in the relationship, that is emotional abuse, because they need a negative discharge. And also, to piggyback off of the emotional manipulation, but to really zoom in on it, she will always play the victim. Whenever a conflict doesn't go her way, where she doesn't get to win because you really have her cornered with evidence, what is she going to do? She's going to play the victim card, and you're going to feel guilt, and you are going to apologize for how she feels. Okay, I had a client where he got punched in the face, and she started crying, turned it around and said, I can't believe how you made me feel. I can't believe you made me so angry that I punched you in the face. And his response to that was, I am sorry. So understand that this is all the blame shifting game when she plays the victim card, because again, nothing else is working on you, so might as well just make you feel guilty and get you to take all the blame for everything. If you are somebody that is being emotionally abused by a woman in a relationship, even when there's no physical abuse, when it's purely emotional, understand you just have to check in with how you feel. If you're not happy, if you feel like you're always tiptoeing, walking on eggshells around her, if you feel like a child, if you feel guilty all the time, if you feel fear, if she threatens that she's gonna leave you all the time, none of this is healthy, and none of this is going to change. You can try couples therapy. Again, be very careful with it, because these people are incredible at manipulating the therapist. But understand, if nothing is working, nobody's giving you the time back. It is not going to change. And to remind you that a narcissistic abuser is going to be the only kind of abuser that will break you down, but then also build you back up, where she will break you down. And when you finally react emotionally, when she finally gets what she needs out of you, she's going to say something along the lines of, oh my God, look at you. I'm so concerned about you. You need therapy. Let's go to therapy together. And then you're going to be all confused, thinking to yourself, well, if she's an abuser, then why does she actually care about me? So please don't be fooled by these tactics, okay? I hope this explanation is helpful for you guys. And again, if you need help navigating through this, schedule your one-on-one session with me. The link is in my bio, and I will see you all in my next video.